Good morning, everyone. If you don't know who I am, my name is Bree. I am documented journey, I guess, and I have been doing vlogs lately because it's just easier with everyone being home. I can just kind of record snippets of my day and then mash them together, and you get a video on Sunday. So thank you for sticking around if you have. I know it's not my normal thing, but life isn't normal right now. So when things kind of settle down and go back to how it once was, or what it's going to look like now, the new normal, I guess, then hopefully I will do more draw with me's and things like that. It's difficult right now. So I'm just trying to go with the flow. I have no idea what I'm doing today. I have a commission that I've been working on that I'm waiting to hear back from. I just ordered new sticker sheets that I'm super excited about. From my last video, I ordered them in washi tape and I ordered them in vinyl, the same exact sticker sheet. So that is going to be fun. It's the house plants. And what did I do? Yesterday I did some painting. I'll insert a clip right here. It was me just messing around with gouache because honestly I bought it and I wanted to try it, and I thought that it would be something that I could maybe implement in my art and in my work every day kind of thing. I'm not 100% sold on flat color, so I really like how watercolor plays together. So I'm not 100% sold on flat color, but I do like when I can color block. So yeah, I like how it color block. I can color block and then I can draw over them and create like an image over that. Now it's not something that it's just practice. It's not something that I will ever turn into a sticker or anything like that. Not at the moment anyway. So, but anyway, I do like how the gouache glides onto the paper. I love that. I love actually drawing on top of gouache. It's very smooth. This particular gouache is very smooth and it takes my ballpoint pen really nicely. I just really enjoy the process, and I want to try and get out of my comfort zone just a little bit. I'm not going to stop drawing plants. I am not going to stop using ballpoint pen, but I just want to push myself in different ways. One of them is by using this gouache, and another one is I want to get more. I've talked about this for a long time, and I just I can't put one foot in front of the other with it for some reason, but I want to be able to depict more scenes. So we will get there. It's just, for some reason, it's easier for me to depict the scene in Procreate than on paper. I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I need to tape off an area because when I have my big sketchbook out, I feel like I need to fill the whole space, which is not the case. But anyway, I'm learning, so eventually I'll figure it out, right? We're all growing and learning. In my last vlog, I can link it in the description box if you haven't seen it, but in my last vlog I did get a few questions about my supplies, and so I thought I'd run you through what I have, what I've been using, maybe some paints that I've been really enjoying, watercolor based. I can also talk about the gouache, and yeah, maybe that's what I'll do this week and kind of give you an overlay of what I've been using, what I'm liking, what's working for me, what colors I'm drawn to at the moment, and maybe that's what the theme of this vlog will be. I'm hoping, I'm not 100, I think it's next week that I get in the stickers, at least the vinyl ones. So I will show you those when they arrive, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, I did also restock all my stickers. So everything is going to be ready to go for my summer release. My summer release is I'm hoping is going to be sometime in June. I'm just waiting on mainly just the stickers at this point. I have a few new cork patterns. I have a new cork base color. And yeah, so if you are interested in getting like first dibs on being able to see it, then I would sign up for my newsletter. I'll link that in the description box for you. And also behind the scenes stuff normally goes to Instagram first, and then like I'm not even gonna say I'm good at editing in like the pro version, but the compiled version, all the like, I don't know, I would say all the curated things that I like curate and I put together in a compilation, nice and neat, like wrap it in a bow. That's what goes on YouTube. So if you are interested in just being able to see it firsthand, like randomly, then newsletter and Instagram. All right, I'm gonna flip you around and I'm gonna talk about my supplies. It was requested that I share my sketching supplies. Now this is just drawing and sketching and has nothing to do with journaling. If you want me to do a favorite journaling supply video, then just let me know and I can do that for you. So again, sketching supplies. So the first thing you got to start with is a sketchbook. This is my practice. This is what I call my practice sketchbook. It is by Handbook. Yep, Handbook, and it is okay. I am not a huge fan of landscape. It's fun every now and again, but I always get like, after I get into it a little bit, I'm always disappointed and I want to go back to a portrait, meaning like this. But it is landscape, and it's fine. It works for now. It's great for what I'm using it for, which is practice. I also have my sketchbook. So this is the one that I make. It is Coptic stitch bound. I haven't worked in this thing in a while. Actually, I did the other day, which you guys saw. I did some gouache painting and stuff in here, and I like these. It's fun, it's experimental, but that is what this journal is, and I want to get back into this. I only have 2 signatures left, so it's not very many pages. It's a lot because it's Tomo River, but not too many left. So I'd like to get back into this so that way I can do a flip through. So those are my 2 sketchbooks. Let's just start with pens and stuff. I have a clip just in case I want to clip a page down. Sometimes the wind blows and it'll blow your page up. So if you have like a weight to it, it will keep it down. Tools that I use, a Ballograph pen. This is my favorite ballpoint pen. The claims on the ink are exactly what I'm looking for, which is archival. It has like a drier feel to it, so I'm not constantly, if you've ever sketched or wrote with a ballpoint pen, it balls up on the end of the tip and you have to like wipe it away, otherwise it will like leave a blob on your paper. I'm not wiping this as much as I would like a Bic pen. The only problem with these are that they're plastic here, and so they tend to crack, but I do have a hack for that. I use some metal pens, really just the casing. This is a cheap pen from Amazon. When I say cheap, I mean like $15. Now that's pretty cheap for a metal pen, and you can refill it. Now this one is heavier because it's brass, but you can refill it with the cartridge, and this one I have a Ballograph in, and it works just fine. The Ballograph comes out, and sometimes, like a lot of pens, it does something like this. Do you see that? Let's see if I'm getting that on camera. Okay, so it does something like this, and normally pens come out like that much, so it's a little awkward to write with at times, but I have a hack for you that I did in this one. This is a Karas Customs aluminum pen, so it's not heavy at all. What I did was I took some of my old cartridges, and it has this kind of tip on it, this end, and the Ballograph has like, I don't know, a different flat flat area. So see there, that little bit extra, that little bit means something. So what I did was I just, with pliers, I pulled off of an old cartridge and I stuck it on a ballograph, and I'm going to be like keeping this and replacing it when I do need a new ink cartridge. But that's my hack for using the ballograph inserts into things like a Karas Customs nice barreled metal body pen, or like even just this one. I can do the same to this one. I just haven't done it yet. So so now it pops out just like normal instead of it kind of like being like that. And it's just, I don't know, you know, I'm sure I could get used to writing with something like this, but you're already used to it with this, so it's nice that it that little bit helped. So I'm excited for that hack. The other thing I have, this is I'm just gonna call it a lead holder. This is by Staedtler, but honestly, you can get it you can get these from many different companies. I'm trying to find another one. I had a yellow one. Here it is. This one, I just got it like Meinigers, that's the store around here, but like Dick Blick sells these lead holders and all kinds of stuff. The lead I keep in here is H. I like H because it's not too invasive, meaning you can still see it when you draw, but it'll erase really easy, but it's not too hard where it indents the paper. So that's why I like this. This is by Staedtler. This is a very old pencil. This was actually my dad's drafting pencil when he used to work with my grandfather way back in the day, and it's just sentimental, so I have it, I use it, I love it. This is a sharpener for said lead holder. This is a water brush. I have it in a fine nib or a small. I think it's small, medium. Yeah, they have small, medium, and large. So I have it in this small. I like the small because of the palette size that I have. This is by Sakura, and mine, I think the first one that I ever tried came in the Koi watercolor kit, but I really enjoy this specific water brush. I don't like any other kind. Water brushes are not the same. It's all about how the water comes out of the brush, like how the water is distributed. And there are some that I feel when you squeeze it, it just like drips out. Some drip out on their own. I just really prefer this brand. This is an art tool kit palette. It's a pocket palette. This is the Demi, and this is a regular. I have it in here, and I'll get that out in a minute. But this is the one that just fits so sweetly in my pack. Now, this one does fit nicely, but it kind of strains the zipper a bit, and I just love this case so much. My husband got it for me. I love this case so much that I don't want anything to happen to it, so I switched to the Demi. And in this one, I have a bunch of Daniel Smith colors. And I can run through these. These are my favorite. These are the ones that I've had in my palette for years. I never really change out my palette, and you can see which colors I use the most, and I'll talk about those in a minute. And then I have just a rag. This is an old t-shirt. I just end up using them, and then when they kind of feel a little stiff, I wash them and get a new one. I use the clip because it keeps it in here nicely, and the clip's there for, you know, me just in case if I want to pin down my paper. So the last thing I want to talk about is this. So this is the Pocket Palette by Art Toolkit. She has black and she has silver, I think. I don't really know. She might have more colors. I'm not sure. But this has a lot of letter sparrow paints in it. I love her paints. They are cruelty-free and vegan, and they are very pigmented. And she sells dot cards. And that's how I found out about her. First, I ordered a dot card, and then I really liked her paints. And I'll show you a cool way to test handmade watercolors, just because I know that they're pretty popular, and I feel like it's useful information. So I'm gonna this is another just old t-shirt. I'm just gonna set this aside so that way I can rinse my brush. Oh, I need to talk about these brushes. These are by Escoda. They are synthetic brushes, but they mimic a real haired brush. So this is a size 4 Escoda Ultimo, and it mimics a squirrel. A squirrel holds a ton of water, and it is more of a fluffy brush, so you don't want to use it for scrubbing. When I mean scrubbing, I mean lifting color, or I mean blending out color that's partially dried. This is a more sensitive haired brush, so it's really good for like big washes, background like color play and things like that, like plopping and things like that. This is the Escoda size 4 Prado. Now this acts as a Kolinsky, so it's going to have a really nice spring back. It's going to come to a really nice point. These both come to great points, but this doesn't have as much as a spring back. It will kind of like bend to where your finger is pushing it or the paper is pushing it. It's just it's more sensitive. This kind of does all the dirty work, is kind of how I feel it. So what I normally do is I go in with this brush and I lay out my base color. It's so smooth, it's lovely to work with. It's easy because it covers way more surface area than the Prado. But then I come in with the Prado for like fine details, some scrubbing, some lifting, and things like that. So let's talk about paint, I guess. This is kind of like my main color palette. I have like 4 colors that I really enjoy using, and I'll I'll show you those. This is a letter sparrow paint. I mean, it's on point. Look at that color payoff. It's awesome. I love her paints. I think this is called Cinnamon. I'm gonna check. She writes them on the back. Yes, Cinnabar Red, and it's just a lovely color. And I like this color because I have a Daniel Smith pink in here. What is that? I can look, but I can mix these two. I'm gonna look at that Daniel Smith color. I'm gonna get it out real quick, but I wanna mix these two, and it becomes like a really nice, I don't know. It becomes like a really nice kind of red color. And I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, this is one of my favorite mixes to do because I feel like it's a pop of color, but it's not too much because you know how I like my dingy colors. Let me get that pink. All right, so I'm gonna dig through here. I have a few Daniel Smith colors. And I have them because, you know, I've been collecting over the years, but also I refill my pans. So, so I keep the tubes. Let's see. And I will find it. Pyro Crimson, nope. Here it is, Quinacridone Rose. I like Quinacridone Rose. It's my favorite pink out of the whole bunch. How I picked these Daniel Smith colors is I bought a dot card and I picked my colors, and then I just have been accumulating them along the way. I like Daniel Smith a lot too. So if I was going to pick like a brand that you can buy tubes from, I would pick Daniel Smith. But all right, we're getting off track. So we have the cinnamon red color. I'm not using that brush. It reminds me of a really nice subtle red. I like that. This is also by Letter Sparrow. Oh no, I just got the red in there. She fills her pans really high, and I love the fact that she also fills them in these standard size pans that go with the art toolkit. So this is Yellow Sun. It is like just a regular yellow, bright yellow. It's great for mixing. I use it for mixing with my greens just to give it a yellow green, and I use it to make orange because that's important. All right, and this is one of my favorite colors. It's Yellow Iron Oxide. That's what she calls it. This is Letter Sparrow again. It is so rich and pigmented, and it can easily blend out. I mean, her colors are amazing. I am really excited because I just accepted a collab with her again. I did one last year and I'm gonna do one again for the summer, and the colors for the palette are so beautiful. A very bright color palette compared to the ones that I picked last time, so I'm really excited for that. This is Nitrous Green, and it is phenomenal as well. It reminds me a little bit of sap and olive green mixed together. It's not as, that iron oxide yellow is just like fierce when it comes to pigment. It's not as pigmented, but you can really create some really nice, I don't know, layers of color with this. When I mean layers of colors, like richness. So those are the Letter Sparrow paints that I have in this palette. It's like, for me, I feel like all I need now is some, what is this? The Phthalo Turquoise, and I would have my palette. Phthalo Turquoise is fun because it's so pigmented. So look how dark that is. But then if I want to, I can add some water to it and pull it out. And it has such a nice light, airy blue look to it. I mean, it's not blue, but you get what I'm saying. This is that cobalt teal blue, and it's nice, it's pretty, but there's not a lot of, hang on, there's a bug. There's not a lot of depth to it, and I'm all about creating depth. So that's why I switched to this, because I feel like it's very similar in color family. I just don't, I'm gonna use that up. I don't wanna waste it. Sorry if you hear my kids, they're playing in their bedroom. This is Sap Green. So it's more yellowy than Nitrous. I got a little bit too much water. This brush is great for holding water. It has a little bit of yellow to it, but again, you can, I could easily add yellow to my Nitrous and get something like this. Nitrous meaning this Letter Sparrow one. And then, oh, I didn't swatch this by itself. This is that Quinacridone Rose. It's just beautiful. Again, it's one of those colors that are rich in color, and then if I want to, I can take it and I can make it this nice pink, light pink, fluffy, airy kind of situation. And then my last color in here is, I want to make sure I get the name correct. I've got to pull all these out again. It's my, I think it's Payne's Gray, to be honest, but I just want to make sure. Here it is. All right, yeah, Payne's Gray. There's Payne's Gray, and that is my large palette. This is something that I just keep at my desk, and I kind of put in this pouch, and it kind of houses my travel brushes fit in there, and the palette fits in there, and it's awesome. So that's what I use at my desk normally. Now, I love the idea of Letter Sparrow paints. Her paints are beautiful. One thing that you want to look out for when you're looking for handmade watercolors is the feel that when you touch them on the page. I have a video all about handmade watercolors, but since we're here, let's just play. Another thing, and you can do this with your Daniel Smith or whatever, take your eraser and you erase and see what comes up on the paper, because you're staining the paper at this point with some of these watercolor pigments. So you want to do the same thing to your other paints. You also want to feel them. Sometimes they have like a sandy or grit texture to them. I will tell you that this Nitrous Green, if you apply a heavy amount to your paper and you let it dry, it does have like a sandy feel, but you can easily just kind of like wipe that off and it goes away. And when I erase it, you just saw nothing really happens to it. I'll do it again. Nothing really happens to it. I mean, some color does lift off, like it's gonna happen. I'm scrubbing at the paper, but yeah, these feel smooth. I can write over the top of them. It's a huge big deal for me to be able to, you know, go over the top just
with my pen, and I don't want it to affect my pen in any way, and I can do that with these, and it's no big deal. I love her paints, so that and Daniel Smith. And I also really like Schminke. I have a huge Schminke palette that my husband got me for, maybe it was my birthday, I don't really know. It's right here. Oh, my daughter, you'll see my daughter on this channel paint with these. These have been through a lot, obviously. But I have tried a lot of different paints, and I've kind of found what I like. I love Schminke. It's just harder for me to get them, so that's why I stick with Daniel Smith. Also, I went into the store and easily got tubes for Daniel Smith, so that's why I continue using them. But let's think about how much I use watercolor, and I still haven't gone through my Schminkes, and I have tubes of Daniel Smith. I'm gonna have watercolor for the rest of my life. Like, I'm not gonna need to buy any more watercolor. So anyway, this is kind of drying, and I can feel the grit. You can I wonder if you can see this. Can you see that green on my hand? Yeah, so there's a little bit of lift with that green, but that's if you apply a really heavy swatch. I really applied a heavy swatch, so but I don't get that with Daniel Smith at all. And I don't get that with any of her other colors that I've tried. So it's just this one, and it could just be something in the pigment. But still, once I kind of like wipe that off, now I don't feel it at all. I'll even draw on that one because I didn't. It's smooth, it's fine. So anyway, I love those paints. So this is what I like to use for my paintings, my sketchbook work. This is always what I just go to. A lot of times if I'm at my desk, like I said, I'll whip out this right here because I'll have a glass of water and I'll get to use my fancy brushes. But if I am on the go, which is normally how I work, this is what goes with me. I normally just use the water brush, and yeah, this is my sketch palette. So anyway, I hope this was informative. I hope this helped. If you did want to see the journal favorite supply video, just let me know in the description box below. And until next time, everybody. Oh wait, I wanted to tell you something. So I have my summer collection, it's almost here. The only thing I'm waiting on is stickers. So I'm so excited to be able to take those pictures and send out the newsletter. Once I send out the newsletter, those people are going to see first on what is going to be offered in the shop, and then I will push it to Instagram, and then I will have a video here on YouTube. So I'm going to say middle to late June is what I'm thinking, but I'll keep you updated in the next videos. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you'll definitely hear about it on Instagram. Oh, and I don't know if you're interested at all, but I do have a few things for sale on my Instagram, mainly bags. So if you're interested in getting a really nice bag, pop on over there. It's in my stories. It's also on my main page under for sale. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, go pop on over to Instagram. So yeah, until next time, everybody, I'll see ya.